Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of the OnePlus One. This is a phone from a brand new company from China that has gotten a lot of attention recently. In fact, it has gotten so much attention that there is an invite system that you have to go through to even get your hands on this phone. Luckily, however, you will be able to pre-order this phone in the very near future. And now it's time to get into this unboxing. The phone itself comes in a really nice matte white and red box, and on the side you'll find a separate container holding your wall wart for your specific region. I think that the packaging is really nice, and I hope that we can see more of this in the future. As you can see here, the wall wart that I have is the one from North America, and I think that it is actually a little too big for my liking. And now let's turn our attention to the main box containing the phone itself. The white cover slides right off with just a little bit of force, and now you'll be able to access the compartment inside. Right off the bat, you'll see the phone as well as a little pouch containing a micro SD adapter. Although very unlikely, this will allow you to use your OnePlus One SIM card with the phone with a bigger SIM slot if you decide to do so. The phone comes out of its slot once you pull on the little red tab. Underneath there, you're going to find a micro USB cable as well as a SIM card remover. This is actually the best USB cable I've ever seen because it looks great, it's got gold plating on the ends, and it's even got this little white piece of rubber that helps you keep it nice and tidy. And also, there's that micro SIM tray remover that comes in a nice red case. And now it's time to bring back the OnePlus One. Peeling the plastic off makes a really nice sound that you'll hear in just a second. Alright guys, let's move into this review. There are two different versions of this phone. The Silk White that has 16GB of storage priced at $299, and a 64GB model in sandstone black that you're seeing here priced at just $50 more at $349. There are more options coming, however, as you will be able to replace the backplate with several new ones that can be bought separately. Along with the phablet size display that I'll talk about later, there is a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, an earpiece, a multicolored notification LED, and 3 capacitive buttons. Along the right side of the phone, there is a power button, and on the left you have the volume control accompanied by a SIM card tray. The bottom houses the speakers, and the top has a headphone port. Flipping the phone over to the back reveals that sandstone black finish, and of course the rear-facing camera that I will cover later on in this video. The chassis of this phone is mainly constructed with magnesium alloy, so it weighs a mere 5.71 ounces or 162 grams. As for dimensions, it measures 152mm tall, 75.9mm wide, and 8.9mm thick. Being that this device is so big, OnePlus has been able to stuff a 3100 mAh battery inside it. While it is non-removable, it is still fantastic and lasts from one full day to a day and a half with normal to heavy usage. That makes it one of the longest lasting flagship phones out there, demolishing even the iPhone 6 Plus and several other similarly sized phablets. There are a ton of phones out there for around the same price, so why is this one so special? Most phones at this price are relatively low-end phones, while this one has the specs to compete with the top high-end phones such as the HTC One M8 or the Samsung Galaxy S5. Powering it is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core CPU clocked at 2.5 GHz, an Adreno 330 GPU, and 3GB of 1866 MHz RAM, which is actually faster than the standard for PC RAM, which is 1600 MHz. All of which help feed the big 5.5-inch IPS display at 1080p. Because it's IPS, it offers great viewing angles too. Protecting it is a piece of Gorilla Glass 3, so you shouldn't worry about damaging it from light drops and scratches. And now let's talk about the software. It runs CyanogenMod 11S on Android 4.4.4 with an upgrade to Android 5.0 promised for the next year. CyanogenMod offers great customizability across the board, including the option to use on or off-screen buttons, and it even offers the great theme store where you can completely change the look of your phone. It also offers sleep gestures that allow you to double tap the screen to wake the device, draw a circle to open the camera, or even draw a V on the screen to turn on the flash. In terms of responsiveness, I think that the software here is about on par with HTC Sense 6 that I find to be the fastest version of Android apart from the stock Android on Nexus or Google Play Edition phones. The one feature I wish it had is a power saving mode just in case the device is running low. Personally, I like CyanogenMod mod a lot, and I think that almost anyone who is used to Android would like it too. The phone's audio is provided by two bottom-facing speakers that are actually pretty decent, and a tri-microphone setup with noise cancellation. You may have noticed at this point that the phone didn't come with any earbuds, but I don't think that it really matters anyways because most included ones are pretty bad, and it would only add to the currently awesome price. Connectivity includes LTE, dual-band Wi-Fi including AC, Bluetooth 4.0 and NFC, all of which perform pretty well in my use. And finally, let's talk about the camera. It uses a 13 megapixel Sony Exmor sensor that features dual LED flash for low light situations. It takes great pictures in almost all situations and has multiple modes that can be useful to a lot of people. Let's take a look at a few shots that I took with this phone. Although there is one thing that I will complain about, and that is that the camera UI displays in widescreen, even though it shoots in the standard photo aspect ratio. This makes it difficult to know what's in frame beyond the screen as you see in this test here. But of course, this is not an issue in the video mode. This can capture video in full 4K at 30 FPS, and even though this still isn't too practical to use, it's good to have and produces some pretty impressive video. It can also do 1080p at up to 60 FPS and 720p at slow motion 120. Meanwhile, the front-facing camera shoots at 5 megapixels and can record at 720p. In conclusion, there are a lot of things to like about this phone. The design not only looks good, but it also feels good in the hand. It has great performance thanks to the powerful chips inside, and the 5.5-inch display is equally as good with its great viewing angles and color reproduction. The CyanogenMod mod software only complements the hardware and is more customizable than anything else out on the market. The camera is impressive and undeniably one of the only devices out there that can shoot 4K at under $300 US. You barely ever have to worry about the battery life, and even though you forget to charge it at night, you should be able to have enough for basic phone calls and text throughout the rest of the day. In fact, I only had to charge the phone once in some of my time testing it through super heavy usage over the course of a day and a half. At this super aggressive price point, there isn't really any reason you shouldn't buy this phone if you're looking for one, unless you really need the features specific to a certain company or if you are dedicated to using iOS. But trust me, I've never once regretted switching from iOS to Android on my phone, and I really doubt that you will either. To wrap it all up, if you can get your hands on this device, I recommend you do it. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it or if it has helped you out, please leave a like and feel free to ask any questions in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.